Namaste and a very good evening to all of you. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ओम्. Again, a very good evening to all of you, to all dear students, my friends, and all respected dignitaries present here, and our respected teacher, Dr. Pramod Kumar Das. Today we are here, and it is our third session today. In our previous sessions, we have listened from our sir the detailed explanation of the first two slokas of the Ishu Upanishad. Today we will aim to focus on the next four slokas, that is fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh slokas of the Ishu Upanishad. In the first two slokas, we came to know about the Jnana Yoga and next about the Karma Yoga of the Upanishad. And today we will try to understand, try to delve deep in the very nature of Brahman through the next four slokas. The fourth sloka, I'll read it out. Anejadekang manaso jabiyo nainadevapnuban purvamarshat. Anejadekang manaso jabiyo नैनद्देवाप्नुवन् पूर्वमर्षत् तद्धावतन्यानत्तेति तिष्ठत् तस्मिन्नपमातुरीश्वा दधाति तद्धावतन्यानत्तेति तिष्ठत् तस्मिन् मातुरीश्वा तस्मिन् तिष्ठत् तस्मिन्नपमातुरीश्वा दधाति. What this sloka aims to tell us, let us try to understand by focusing on the very words used in this sloka. Krishna, will you unmute Mr. Krishna? Yes, thank you. Oh, sorry, mute. Yes, sorry. Yeah, thank you. All right. Ekang anejat. This is the first word used in this fourth verse. It means Brahman is one, Ekang. Anejat means the Brahman is motionless. Again, it is said Manasaha Jabiyaha, but Brahman is swifter than mind. Devaha, the Devas or the senses, Purvam Arshat Enat no Apnuban, that is, cannot overtake it who runs before them. That is, even the Devas or the senses, they fail to overtake the Brahman. Tatishtat, even while sitting, Dhavatah Anyan Uti Iti, this Brahman overtakes all those who run after it. Asmin, by it, Maturishva Apaha Dadhati, the air or the Shutratman, that is the root of all prana, supports the activity of all living beings. Let us proceed to the next sloka, that is the fifth sloka. It is saying, Tadejati tanvaijati तद्दूरे तद्वन्तिके तदेजति तन्वैजति तद्दूरे तद्वन्तिके तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्य बाह्यतः तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्यास्य बाह्यतः. It is saying that ejati, the Brahman moves. Tat no ejati, it moves not. Tat dure, it is distant. Tat vantike, it is near. Tat asya sarvasya antaha, it is within us all. Tat u asya sarvasya bahyatah, it is saying that it is also outside of all this, outside of all beings. Then in the sixth shloka, it reads thus, Yastu sarvani bhutani atmai bhavut atmanyevanupashyati. Yastu sarvani bhutani atmanyevanupashyati. सर्वभूतेषु चात्मानं ततो न बीजुगुप्सते सर्वभूतेषु चात्मानं ततो न बीजुगुप्सते. Let us try to understand this sloka also a bit. Since I'll be giving only the introduction, I'm not elaborating these slokas. Our respected sir, our honorable teacher, Dr. Pramod Kumar Das, he will be enumerating the same. So I'm just giving the introduction of it. So let us try to see what is it saying, what is the sixth sloka is trying to say us. It is saying, Yahatu Atmani Eva, that he who in his own Atman, Sarvani Bhutani Eva Anupashyati, sees all beings. Sarva Bhuteshu cha, and in all beings, Atmanam Anupashyati, sees his own self or Atman. Tataha, due to this vision, Sahana Bijugupsate, he does not shrink from any saying thereafter. And the last sloka that today we will try to focus on is the seventh sloka of the Isha Upanishad. It says, Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmai babhut bijanatah. Yasmin sarvani bhutani आत्मैवाभूत विजानतः तत्र को मोहः कः शोकः एकत्वम् अनुपश्यतः तत्र को मोहः कः शोकः एकत्वम् अनुपश्यतः. What this sloka is trying to say is beautifully enumerated by Pandit Sri Bhaveshnath Pathak in his book, The Upanishads. I will read out just few lines from his text. He's saying, when a knower has known all thus unified, when one all beings in the self vivified, what are for him then sorrows and delusions? The seer of the unity is above all illusions. So that is all about the introduction today. And now I request Sir to proceed and enlighten us with his valuable speech and thought. Yes, sir. Sir, please.
Thank you, Kheya.
Hmm.
Hey, Krishna, Krishna
Krishna.
Jehen.
हाँ
Hello.
हेलो हाँ सर
You mute yourself. I have muted 4 times and you are unmuting. You mute.
नहीं
You know how to mute yourself?
ସେଠି ଏ ହେବ
नहीं
ହେବ
सर
ନାହିଁ ବୋଲେ ସେଟା ପାଇଁ ମୋର ଷ୍ଟେଟ ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କରେ ଡିପୋଜିଟ୍ କରିଦେଇଛି।
Nonsense.
ହ୍ୟାଲୋ କ୍ରିଷ୍ଣା ସେ ତଳ ଲାଇନରେ ଅପସନ ଅଛି ସେଠି ମ୍ୟୁଟ କର।
No, I have muted him. Okay. I have that option to mute, but that is disturbing. Krishna, you also off your video because you are not stable. You are absent-minded. You are talking with others. So don't make yourself visible. You do whatever you want to do behind the screen. Upanishad class is something different. We don't believe in the number. If 10 or 15 students will attend the class, we are happy. This is tapasya. Focus on this study. Stay here. Be present. Be silent. Then only you can understand. If your mind is roaming, if your mind is disturbed, if you are not free for this 1 hour, then you can't. You can't. Upanishad means sit near your teacher and listen. Here near means not physical nearness. This is the psychological nearness. You should be attentive. Physically, you are far from me. Many are from Sambalpur, many are out of state. Kheya is from West Bengal. So physically, all are in distant places, but psychologically, we should be nearer to each other. Otherwise, we can't understand. Be attentive, and exactly this theme will be discussed today. Mere learning is not enough. Mere having Upanishadic wisdom is of no use. No use. If you just preparing for your examination, then then you are fool. That is required. But if you listen it carefully, your life will be changed. This is the mantra of life. This is not mantra for your examination. In the first verse, we were discussing about the nature of Atman, nature of Brahman, nature of Isha. That Isha is one. Isavasyam idam sarvam. That means Isha is all pervaded. There are three models: monism, dualism, pluralism. We were discussing that Upanishad believes in monistic model, that reality is one. There is oneness behind the diversity. In the second verse, we are discussing about karma, the secret of karma, the art of doing karma. Both jnana and karma, they are two different ways to attain perfection. And in the third verse, we were discussing about bhoga. If you are indulged in enjoyment without the sense of vairagya, without the sense of detachment, then you will go to hell. Your life will be full of suffering. Your life will end in frustration, despair, anguish, confusion, unhappiness. So, Upanishad is speaking about the goal and the result of your ignorance. Your goal is knowledge. If you are not following the path of knowledge, then you will enter into the world of darkness. You will enter into the world of darkness. After discussing these three verses, 1, 2 and 3, first, second and third, the fourth verse is an elaboration of the first verse. What we are discussing in the first verse, that is discussed more elaborately in the fourth verse. In between first and fourth, we are discussing about karma yoga and the result of ignorant people, the result of false attachment in the third verse. So now we we are discussing about the first verse in in an extended way through the fourth verse. So fourth verse is an extension of the first verse. What we were discussing in the first verse? Isavasyam idam idagam sarvam. That means one ultimate source, that is Isa, that is present everywhere. Not only present, that rules everything. That is the presiding principle of all phenomenal existence. This is what we were discussing in the first verse. In the fourth verse, we shall discuss some other characteristics of that ultimate source. What is its real power? What is its real nature? Is it equal to our mind? Is it equal to our senses? Is it equal to the Pancha Mahabhutas? What is it exactly? How it is superior to all these things? That we shall discuss in the fourth verse. Why should we discuss? If we do not know, if we fail to know, if we are ignorant of the complete nature of Isha or Brahman, then we cannot practice it in our practical life. Because mere learning is not enough. We have to live according to the Upanishadic wisdom. So the sixth and seventh verses speak about the practice, speak about our practical living. How can one live with Upanishadic wisdom? how Upanishadic wisdom is pragmatic, is practical in our day-to-day life. In 6th and 7th verse, we shall discuss that. In 4th and 5th verses, we shall discuss some characteristics of the nature of Isha in details. We all know that our mind is faster than light. If we shall discuss about the capacity of our mind is so fast that it can run in such a speed which is faster than light. If you are present at one place at one time, your mind can reach the other part of the world in a second. So the movement of a mind is so fast. And what is about our senses? Our senses are also very dynamic. So beyond our senses and mind, we have our consciousness, we have our soul, and it is described in the 4th verse that our soul outruns, overtakes the speed of our senses and mind. Soul is faster than our mind. Mind is faster than senses, and soul is faster than our mind. And that mind, that soul is also motionless. That means it does not move. So here comes the dialectic of movement and non-movement, that it moves and it moves not. It is constant, and at the same time it is faster than mind. It is sthira, it is stable, and at the same time it runs, but it is faster than mind. So it moves fast and it moves not. It is steady, and at the same time it is so fast. So how can these two attributes, two contradictory attributes, be applied in case of soul? Contradictory attributes cannot be applied to our mind, our senses, or any material object of the world. Our body cannot exist at two places at the same time. This is the scientific law, that one thing cannot remain present at two places at the same time. So we cannot exist at two places at the same time. This is the fundamental principle. Similarly, everything in this world, in this phenomenal world, cannot have its existence at two places at the same time. But it is soul, it is that pure consciousness which is all pervasive, isavasyam idam sarvam. That means it is all pervaded. So that Atman, that Isha can exist at all places at one time. We can't exist at two places at one time. This is our limitation. But Isha can exist at many places, at all places at the same time. If we say Jagannath means Jagat, the Natha of Jagat, Natha, the master of the Jagat. That means Jagannath does not exist in a particular temple, Jagannath does not exist in a particular city. The existence of Jagannath is not confined to a particular place, particular time. Jagannath exists everywhere, everywhere. Therefore, he is known as Jagannath. Time and space cannot restrict the existence of or the presence and absence of Isa. But how can we understand it logically? If we shall not give any logic to it, then Hetuvadis will say that we are dogmatic, we are unscientific, we are not scientific. But this assertion, this belief has its own logic. How can something remain present at two places at the same time? So when we say that it is impossible for one thing remaining at two places at the same time, what does it mean? Suppose I shall say the object X cannot exist at two places at the same time. That means the object X exists at one place and does not exist at another place. Therefore, there is a necessity of movement from one place to another place. How can we define movement? That something is moving. Something is moving means that something exists at one place and it does not exist at another place. Therefore, there is a movement. Okay, suppose you are in a particular city. Suppose you are in your village. So that is your location. You are not present in the nearby town or city. Therefore, you are going to that city. Therefore, there is a series of movements. So, because there is absence and you are present at one place and at the same time you are absent in another place, so you move. There is movement. And when you are moving, that indicates your presence and absence. Suppose you reach there. After a movement, you reached at your destination. So you reached there. There you are present, but you are absent in the previous station where you were before 1 hour or 2 hours. Now there you are absent. That means you cannot remain present at two places at the same time. Therefore, there is a movement. There is a movement. Very technical. We have to understand this. Movement is there when there is absence. You are present at one place. You are absent at another place. Therefore, you are moving from one place to another place. Imagine such a situation that you are present at both the places. You are present at both the places. Do you need any movement? You don't need any movement because you are present at both the places. We shall discuss how you are present at both the places. That is the second question. But the first question is, there is a necessity of a movement if there is absence. If you are present at both the places, then there is no need of a movement. Therefore, Isha does not move. Isha is constant. Isha does not move. Isha is constant. Because Isavasyam idam sarvam. Anything that is present at all places, so there is no movement. There is no movement at all. Because one moves when one is absent at one place. Whenever there is absence, there is movement. If there is only presence and presence, there is no need of a movement. So this is the status of Isha, that omnipresent. Isha is omnipresent. So anything that is omnipresent, that exists everywhere, so there is no movement. So it moves and it moves not. This dialectic is resolved in case of a transcendental reality. It moves means who is moving? The form of that is moving. And it moves not means who is present everywhere, there is no need of a movement. I shall give an example so that you can understand. There is air everywhere. The space is filled with air. Okay? And you have a small balloon, and there is air inside the balloon. Now you move that balloon. Here is the balloon, and you move that balloon from here to here. So here the air inside the balloon is moving. Is moving. It is common sense. Everybody will accept this. Yes, as the balloon is moving, the air inside the balloon is also moving. Clear? So here the air moves. It is understood. But air does not move. How? Because if the entire space is filled with air, so this air inside the balloon is also merged with the complete air, because this air is not different from the outside air. So in air, in the total air, this air of the balloon appears to move, but actually it is not moving. For you, for your limited knowledge, for your ignorant mind, it appears that the air is moving inside the balloon. One minute. Okay. Try to understand this. This is a very technical thing. There is air everywhere. There is air inside the balloon. You are changing the place of a balloon from one place to another place, and you describe that this balloon is moving, therefore the air inside the balloon is moving. In that sense, we can say air moves. Air moves. In another sense, we can say air does not move. If the total air is the air, so this air inside the balloon is not a second air, it's the same air. So how can it move? In that sense, air does not move. Because something will move if it is absent at one place. Do you think that the air inside the balloon, when it moves from one place to another, do you think that there was absence of air here? And when balloon came here, it was filled with air? No, it is already filled with air. So there is a movement of apparent air which is inside the balloon. Similarly, the total reality, the total consciousness is moving and it is not moving. It is here and it is everywhere. It is inside me and it is outside me. It is inside the balloon and it is outside the balloon. Similarly, the consciousness is inside me and it is outside me. It is here and it is there and it is everywhere. And if something is everywhere, there is no movement at all. There is no movement. Tad ejati, tat no ejati. This is not contradiction. This is not contradiction for that totality which exists everywhere. Every space is filled with air. So we can't say that air moved from this place to that place because movement suggests the absence of something. We shall discuss from another perspective. How can we understand oneness? Because we see the world of diversity. We see the world of manyness. So how can we claim that reality is one? Because our experience says there are many facets of reality. So how can we say that reality is one? So here we shall take the example of we shall take the principle of a causation. That cause, the relation between cause and effect. What is the relation between cause and effect? Mainly, there are two types of causation, two theories. One is Satkaryavad, the other is Asatkaryavad. Asatkaryavad is the theory of causation that suggests that effect is a new creation of the cause, out of the cause. That means the effect is newly created out of the cause. Effect and cause, they are different, and effect is created and cause is the creator. So there is a creator and a created relation in case of Asat Karyavad. This is one theory. The other theory is the effect is not created out of the cause. The effect is the manifestation of its cause. It is the manifestation of its cause. Effect is manifested out of the cause. That means cause and effect, they are same. Manifestation. we have to understand this because it is already discussed in Indian philosophy. In Sankhya system, we know Satkaryavad, Parinamvad, Prakriti Parinamvad, Brahma Parinamvad, and the other is Vivartavad, Satkaryavad, Asatkaryavad. We all these things we know. So what is the relation between cause and effect? If cause is one and effect is something different, then there will be no monism. Monism will fail here. So in order to establish oneness, in order to establish monism, we have to say that cause and effect are one and the same. Cause and effect are one and the same. That means the essentially the cause and effect are same. How is it possible? There are three things. How this effect is created or the effect takes place out of the cause. There are three types of causes. One is the material cause, the other is the efficient cause, and the other is the combination, the processing. Or mainly we can discuss two, they are material and efficient. Now let us ignore the processing. Non-inherent cause, inherent cause, non-inherent cause, and efficient cause. Let us ignore non-inherent cause. Only take two causes, inherent and efficient. Material cause, upadana karana and nimitta karana. Then this world of diversity is the manifestation of Isha. That means Isha has become many. One has become many. Ekam bahusami. So God as a creator has not created this Jagat. God has manifested himself into many forms. Into many forms. So the material essence of the cause and effect, they are same. I am giving an example. What is the relation between the clay, between clay and pot? Clay and pot. Pot is created out of clay. This is one view. The other view will be pot is nothing but the manifestation of a clay. Pot is nothing but the manifestation of clay. That means that is the pot is manifested in a different name and form. If it is pot, we call it pot, so it is a name. If it is a pot, it has its form. So name and form are different from clay, but one view says that pot is the manifestation of a clay. But it is again of two types. We can take the example of seed and tree, seed and plant. So out of a seed we get plant. So plant is the manifestation of seed, because essentially from a particular seed we can get a particular plant. Therefore essentially seed and plant are same. Essentially seed and plant are same. Essentially clay and pot are same. So here we can say the effect is the manifestation of a cause. But the problem is here, once the seed becomes plant, you cannot get the seed again, the same seed. You can get new seeds, but you cannot get the same seed which has been manifested into plant. Try to understand. Once the clay is made a pot, you cannot get back that clay from that pot. Once the cause is manifested into the effect, you cannot get the cause again from the effect. This is one type of manifestation where oneness cannot be established. Here we cannot establish oneness even it is a case of manifestation. So we have to give another example in which we can move from cause to effect and effect to cause. In case of a seed and a plant, we can move from seed to plant, but we cannot move from plant to the same seed out of which the plant has been originated. Similarly, pot and clay and pot. Once you get the pot out of clay, you cannot go back to the clay. But in case of Vibhartavada, it is possible. In Vibhartavada, what happens? I shall give another example where you can move from cause to effect and effect to cause. The relation between ocean and waves. Where from waves come? Cause is ocean. If ocean is not there, if the ocean is not there, then you can't have the waves. So ocean is the cause, waves are the effect. Waves are there because there is ocean. This is the relation. But again, the waves are merged with the ocean. The waves are the manifestations from the ocean. Again, the waves return to the ocean. So here you will see the waves are the false appearance, false forms which are manifested out of the ocean. I shall give another example where you can go from cause to effect. Gold and ornament. Gold and ornament. When you are purchasing some ornaments, these ornaments have their own designs. The wearing part is important. From the wearing perspective, it is called ornament. But that is made of gold. So the essence is gold. So you can move from gold to ornament, and again you can move from ornament to gold. This is you have to understand this relation between one and many. Because the ornament, why ornaments have some value? Because there is the value of a gold. Because gold is there. Suppose somebody will give you some gift of ornaments, and he will say that I gave you some gold. Is he right or not? Yes, he is correct. Because actually he gave you some gold. If he will say, I gave you ornaments, he is correct. Yes, he gave us ornament. If he will say, I gave you both gold and ornament, here also he is correct. Yes, you gave me both gold and ornament. So in all forms there is oneness. In cause there is oneness, in effect there is oneness, and in the processing also there is oneness. So this world is manifested from the Issa in such a way that we never experience the second order. We never experience the other. Everything is one and one. Everything. That Issa is in me, that Issa is in the tree, that Issa is in the dust, that Issa is in every atom. Every atom. And from one cause, many effects are possible. There are many effects, that does not mean there are many causes. From one cause, many effects can take place, as one sun can have different images in different pots. We see many suns reflected in different pots, but that is of the one sun. This is the metaphysics. We have to understand this deep metaphysics of Upanisad that is discussed in 4th and 5th verse. So, Isavasyam idam sarvam, it is introduced in the first verse, but in details we are discussing how it moves and moves not, how it is near and far, how it is inside and outside both. What is the logic behind this? Logic is this. What is the logic? The logic is that whenever there is a movement, that implies, that indicates absence. Because Issa is present everywhere, there is no movement of Issa. This is one logic. The second logic is the cause and effect are one and the same. Cause and effect are one and same. The best example is the waves. Whether waves are true or false, yes, waves are true. Whether waves exist or not, yes, exist. But where from the waves come? The answer is ocean. Where to waves return? Answer is ocean. From which everything comes, again to that everything returns. If this model is possible, then it is oneness. But in case of a seed and a plant, it is not possible. If the plant is out of seed, again the plant cannot become that seed. There is no possibility. This possibility is not there. So there is duality between seed and plant. That plant may create thousands, lakhs of seeds, and from that seed we can get lakhs of plants. In this way we can go, but we cannot return to that seed. So here oneness fails. Oneness can be maintained when you establish the principle from which everything has come, to that everything can return. From the ocean, all the waves take place. Again, all the waves return to the ocean, are lost in the ocean. I am giving another example. There are different states of levels of consciousness. Different levels of consciousness. You are in the waking state. Now we are all in the waking state. I am speaking something and you are listening to me. So we are very much alert. We are in the waking state. When we are sleeping, We are in the sleeping state. That has three types: dream state, dreamless sleep state. Two types: dream state and dreamless sleep state. And this is waking state. So these three states are there. In the dreamless sleep state, what we think to be real, that becomes false in the dream state. In the dream state, what we think to be real, that becomes false in the waking state. Similarly, in the waking state, what we think to be real, that becomes false in the Turiya state. So whatever we think to be real is not really real. But the point is, where from all these varieties of experience, all these different levels of a consciousness come to that, all these can go back. That means Turiya is the pure consciousness that is present in all the states of experience. Pure consciousness is present in the waking state. Pure consciousness is present in the dream state. Pure consciousness is present in the dreamless sleep state. So, not in a single level, the pure consciousness is absent. So, in all the levels of consciousness, I am Sachitananda. I am that pure Brahma. I am that pure consciousness. That I means the supreme consciousness is present in my ignorant state, in my half knowledge state, in my full knowledge state. In the dreamless sleep state, that is Turiya. In the dream state, that is Turiya. And in the waking state, that is Turiya. Similarly, in the deep silent ocean is there. The essence of water is there. The same essence of water is available in the violent waves. So the violent waves and the silent ocean are one and the same. Only difference is in form. That is one form, and ocean is one form, and waves are another form. So in form they are different. In quantity they are different. But in quality they are same. So how can we explain oneness? Oneness means oneness in quality. So quantity may be different, but qualitatively everything is same. Entire science is established on this principle. Because the quality is same, because there is law of uniformity of nature, science can operate. Otherwise, no scientific law can operate. We can't operate, we can't take use of any scientific law if there is no oneness in quality. For example, medical science. In medical science, we all are one. Socially, we are different. Socially, somebody is father, somebody is brother, somebody is husband, somebody is your wife, somebody is mother, somebody is sister. Socially, such difference is there. But when you are on the operation bed and a doctor is going to operate your physical body, you are simply a patient. You have a human body. So qualitatively, you are a human body only. Qualitatively, you have a human mind only. But socially, there is difference. For a doctor, the patient is not a brother or father or father-in-law or mother-in-law, sister, brother, no relation. For him, the patient is only a patient, and that is treated as a human body. I am going to operate on a human body. So qualitatively there is oneness. Quantitatively there is diversity. So here we shall discuss a distinction between diversity and division. Diversity should not be misunderstood as division. When you are making division, there comes duality. There comes duality. Once it is divided, it becomes two or many. But in diversity is not that. Diversity means one appears many. Diversity means the diverse forms of one. Though the different persons have their diversity in the social relation, they are one so far as medical science is concerned. So far as human body is concerned, they are all one. There is no medicine for a father-in-law and another medicine for a son-in-law. There is no medicine for mother-in-law and another medicine for sister-in-law. No. Medicine means it is medicine is prescribed for a human body. So qualitatively, so diversity does not cancel oneness. Division cancels oneness. So diversity is not bad. Diversity can be understood by unity. Therefore we say unity in diversity. Unity in diversity. This is the metaphysical understanding of Upanishadic wisdom. In 4th and 5th verses, we have to understand this, how the polar opposites moves and moves not, tat ejati, tat na ejati, tat dure tad antike, that is nearer to us and very far. I mean that is inside us and that is outside us. How is it possible? It is possible for the totality. It is possible for the totality. It is not possible for the locality. It is possible for the totality. If you exist in a local place, then you fail to exist in another place. If you exist everywhere, then there is no movement at all and there is no contradiction at all. We have to understand this metaphysics of Upanishad. Then in the 6th and 7th verse, we are taught how to live with this metaphysics. How to live with this metaphysics. So there is also logic. Isavasyam idam sarvam. That means Isa is all pervaded. Isa is everywhere. It is understood? Isa is present everywhere. First sentence. Second sentence, that Isa is in me. If Isa is everywhere, if all men are mortal, then Rama is a man. So mortality is also a fact of Rama. If Isa is everywhere, then that Isa is in me. Then what is the conclusion? Then I am everywhere. This is the logic. If we understand that Isavasyam idam sarvam, God is everywhere, from that we understand if God is everywhere, then God is in me. God is in me. If God is in me and the same God is everywhere, then I am everywhere. I am everywhere. Once you understand this, once you develop your mind, your understanding, once you realize this, This logic of metaphysics, this logic of philosophy, logic and philosophy, this is our department. But whenever we are speaking of any philosophy, we have to give logic to it. What is the logic of our philosophy? Logic of metaphysics? If God is everywhere, and if God is everywhere, that Isha is in me. If Isha is everywhere and inside me, then what is the conclusion? I am everywhere. I am everywhere. Once you realize this, that I am everywhere, I am inside the balloon as the inner air, and I am also the total air. I am, I am the inner consciousness. When I am in the dream state, I am that dream consciousness. When I am in the dreamless sleep state, I have that level of consciousness. When I am the waking state, I have waking consciousness. Similarly, I am the total consciousness. So I am the cause and I am also the effect. If you understand this, that not only Isha is in me, I am everywhere. If Isha is everywhere, Isarassamidam sarvam, this way, aham bhasyam everywhere. That is, I am also everywhere. If Isha is pervaded everywhere, if Isha is in me, then I am also present everywhere. Once you realize this, then always you can see yourself in everything. That is the relation between I and I. Two types relation. Relation between I and thou. I and thou. I and you. Suppose I shall say I love you. That means there is a duality between I and you. But once I understand that I am present everywhere, I see myself in everything, then that is not you, only I. I love I. I love this dog means that dog is I. That plant is I. Entire universe is I. So I love I. Therefore, there is no chance of hatred. There is no chance of frustration because I can't hate myself. Nobody hates himself. You try to hate yourself. You can't. Even if when you are committing suicide, even if one is committing suicide, he or she is committing suicide only because he or she loves himself or herself. That love may be a negative love, but it is only the attachment that I love myself, I love I, not the second, not the other. So there is no other, there is no second entity besides my existence. I am everywhere. So there is no chance of hatred, no chance of frustration, no chance of violence, only sympathy, only empathy, only love, only compassion. These cardinal values will be groomed in my personality. My mind will be so constituted that it will start loving every creature because of my understanding of the metaphysics that Isavasyamidam sarvam, that Isha is in me and therefore I am everywhere. I am everything, I am every being and I am everywhere. So how can I hate myself? I can love myself. So this attitude will be developed. So this is called psychic transformation. Psychic transformation. What we discussed in the third verse. In the third verse, that is a status of mind when a man is indulged in material enjoyment, worldly allurements, that and he goes to the world of darkness. That is a status of mind. But here we are discussing in the 6th and 7th verses, we are discussing about the highly evolved mind, that mind of self-transformation. It is highly evolved. It is spiritually groomed with oneness. That mind can perceive oneness, unity in diversity. Diversity is there, but that mind is so groomed it can perceive only unity. It can perceive only unity, not the diversity. So there is no chance of hatred, and that is the key, that is the secret of love and compassion, sacrifice, forgiveness. So here there is a transition from intellectual personality to emotional personality. We can't live without emotion, but our emotion should be positive emotion. So whatever, if our intellect is groomed by logical exercise, then that intellect can be directed towards the emotional ability. We can become a good emotional being. If you are intellectually sound, that is very good. That you are a rational person, you are very intellectual, you have wisdom, that's good. You are intelligent, that's good. But if you don't have emotional quench, if you don't have emotional ability, if you don't have that type of sentiment, emotional sentiment, then you are not a complete personality. So what our wisdom should be useful. Our wisdom should be lived in this world. If we don't live our wisdom, then that is only theory. That is only theory. So in the 6th and 7th verse, we are taught how to practice, how to live with the metaphysical wisdom of that oneness, feeling of oneness. If you understand oneness, then you have to feel that oneness. You have to live with that oneness. If you if you have really realized that one principle, then you have to really feel that oneness in the practical life, in the practical world. Whenever you see the diversity, you will remember Isavasyam idam sarvam. There are many, but they all are Isa. Now, first step. There are many, they all are in me. Second step. They are many, they are nothing but me. I am them. Who is she? She is me. I am that. Who is this dog? I am that dog. Can one practice it? Can one have these gods? Can one have this courage? Only a realized soul can do this. One will become many. So here, not only Isa becomes many, not only Isa pervades everywhere, this is the metaphysics. But ethical teaching is you will become everything. You will pervade everywhere. You will be manifested in everything. Therefore it is said, who perceives everything in himself and himself in everything, for him there is no sorrow, no hatred, nothing else. So whatever we realize, whatever we understand in Upanishads, we have to live our practical life according to that wisdom. That is the purpose of a Upanishad. If you do not live, you cannot get liberation. Liberation is never attained only by theoretical knowledge or only by scoring good marks in examination. That is not liberation. Here in Indian philosophy, in Upanishad, we are discussing about the practical life, the life that is experienced. We are not here discussing the concept of life. Here we are not making conceptual analysis. Here we are discussing about the real crisis of life. If the realization is there, that is the real realization. That is not conceptual discussion. You have to become. Not knowing is becoming. If you know the truth, you have to become that truth. So every day, every year, you are transforming from lesser perfection to the greater perfection. Always, all the moments are the moments of a transformation. Every moment we are getting transformed from the lower level of consciousness to the higher level of consciousness. Thank you. Over to Kheya.
Thank you so much for enriching us, sir. And now we will proceed to the question answer session. And I think, sir, there is already one question that someone has texted in call message. Someone named Shinu Biswal. He asked that is Isha also present inside the devil? Sir, will you like to respond to it first so that we'll proceed to, or will we proceed to the next questions?
Yes, answer is yes. Answer is yes. For Isha, there is no evil, no devil. Evil and devil that has been calculated by human mind. Okay, that is cyclone. That is cyclone for us. For Isha, there is no cyclone. Anything that sweets us, we call we say it is good. Anything that does not sweet us, we say it is bad. So there is no evil and devil or any goodness and badness so far as the creation is concerned. So Isha is present everywhere. There is no absence of a Isha.
Well, thank you, sir. So let us proceed to the next questions. If you have any question, any query, any doubt, please raise your hand and we will pick up the questions one after another. Yes, please. Sir, someone named Deepak Shahu has raised a hand. Yes, please proceed, Deepak Shahu. Please unmute yourself and ask the question.
Hello, sir. Am I audible? Sir, namaskar, sir. Sir, actually, congratulations for the nice talk. Just I want to give another data, another fact. In the initially, actually, I have joined little bit later. So you have told about that no object can exist in two places simultaneously. Is it like that? You have told about that. But in quantum physics, already this is a fact. So all these subatomic particles like electrons and other subatomic particles, they can exist. Even not in two places, they can exist in several places. This is,
They exist
this
in
is a known fact.
huh.
Uh, that phenomenon is known as actually, I think, superposition. In quantum mechanics, quantum physics, this is a known fact.
Yes, I agree with you.
I Yes, sir.
In that sense, science is admitting the metaphysics of Upanishads. That is the latest discovery of science. that science also proves.
The science is not admitting some of the people, like you can say that some Western thinkers or scientists, physicists, not all. Some they say that maybe Upanishad, the people who have actually written the Upanishad, maybe they have some idea about the something which may exist in two places simultaneously. But that doesn't prove that there is a soul which is beyond everything and it exists in two places. This is
Okay,
our assumption only.
okay. You may give any name, but the theory is same. They are saying that the energy is all pervaded. The energy is all pervaded, but there is a slight difference. When they say that something exists at two places, they are talking about positive energy and negative energy. So that dichotomy is also there. Okay,
No, no, no. These physicists, they do not tell about this positive or negative energy. That is, there is this very huge explanation about that Planck's theory, Max Planck's theory, that object can exist either both in two states, and it has two nature. One is wave nature, another is particle nature.
hmm.
So it can
So,
simultaneously, it
so,
can move
so,
and it can.
so here is the difference: wave nature and particle nature. You are making the
So,
distinction.
uh, no, I mean, if the object is very heavy, then simultaneously we cannot. That is the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle
So,
says
what is
about
the
this.
conclusion? The conclusion is only in the energy form we can extend the presence of one thing in different places. This discovery is equal to the discovery of Upanishadic wisdom. In that sense, we say that science also admits the pervasiveness of existence.
Okay, we'll talk it later in the maybe in the
Okay.
department.
So,
Talk in the.
but the difference is that they don't call it Isa, they don't call it God, they call it God, they may call it God particle. They are naming it in different ways. That means in one sentence we can say the more subtler, usually the subtleness can exist everywhere. If you go into the subtle essence of anything, there you can see the pervasive existence. Okay, that is the contribution of science in the modern time. But this has been the case with us in Upanishads before thousands of years. This is the recent discovery of science. What science is discovering today, that is already said in the Upanishads before thousands of years. Thank you.
Another.
Mr.
Can I
Deepak
take
Sahu,
another one
Deepak
minute?
Sahu, Deepak, Mr. Deepak Sahu.
Sir.
Hello. Are you talking about soul?
Sir was telling about soul. He first told that no object cannot exist in two places simultaneously. So that
Okay,
is
okay. I
why
am
I just.
confusing. I am confused that you are speaking about soul or something else.
No, no, no. Sir started a statement like that. Then he told that mind cannot exist at two places simultaneously, but soul can. He told, sir,
Yes,
if
soul
I am
can.
wrong,
Soul
sir
can.
can
Yes,
correct.
of
From
course.
sir can correct.
You can also find in Bhagavad Gita, Vasamsi jirnan yatha vihaya navani grunati naroparani tatha sarirani vihaya jirna anyani sanjati navani dehi. There are slokas in Bhagavad Gita as well.
Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Jataram. So Shankara also told that about that. But my point is that just I wanted to correct it, just give a one statement that no objects can exist at two places simultaneously. So
Your query is something else. I have taken it in another way.
Rajaram Babu, Rajaram Babu, his question is that as consciousness is all pervasive, so is the object. In Upanishad,
Yes,
we do not admit any object. We admit only consciousness.
yes, yes. So
Okay.
you told about no materialistic body can exist at two places
Yes.
Oh,
But
okay.
when you are talking about the object in the scientific term, that is also
Hmm.
not object. You have to understand it. That is not object. That is not the solid object. That is the subtleness. That they call it energy. That is the subtleness and the
No, no,
more.
no. I'm not talking about the energy. There is a theory, there is everybody knows the electron can exist at two places.
Hmm.
Not even two places, it is a multiple places.
The moment it exists in two places, one place it is positive and the other place it is negative. You will go through the text and you will find it. It
No,
exists in the positive form and in another place it exists in the negative form. Positive, negative. Okay, if there is any common existence and the scientists claim that that cannot be in the material form, that can be in the subtle form. They call it God particle. Sometimes they call it energy, and sometimes they call it nothing. Sometimes they call it nothing. That out of nothing, everything has been created. So, such type they think it is mysterious, but we think it is not mysterious. It is well established in the Upanishads that it is not nothing. It is rather everything. From everything, everything has come out. This is my understanding about the metaphysical creation process.
Thank you for your such brilliant question and Rajaram Nayak. Uh,
You are
and it is really, yeah. Madam Nayak, will you, if you have any doubt or query, you can say that, or if you want to
No,
explain your.
he can also give answer on my behalf.
Okay. If you are interested to, please go ahead, please.
not to give answer. You are
Okay,
there.
okay, ठीक. Okay. Next question.
can I have another little one line? Can ask?
Yes, you can.
Uh, Sir, you have told about the cause and effect. So cause is the creator. So who is the then cause of that creator? If cause is the
Yes, if there is a duality between cause and effect, then you will go on the series of causation. If effect is something and cause is something, if cause is the creator, I am not saying that cause is the creator. I gave you two models. Cause, there is a relation of a creation between cause and effect, and there is a relation of a manifestation between cause and effect. If you say that cause is the creator and effect is created, then there is duality, and then the question will come, who is the creator of a cause, who is the creator of a cause, and what is the first cause. In this way, you will go on asking question, and the first cause will be a mysterious cause because you can't reach there. But if we will go with the second model, that there is no distinction at all between cause and effect. The effect is only the appearance, vivarta. The effect is only the appearance of the cause, like the waves are vivarta of a ocean. Only the ocean is there from which waves have been created, and they also return to the waves. In
then
that
why
way,
In the analogy you gave about that clay and pot,
Hmm.
uh, I think you have given that example, no?
Yes, that is
So
contrary. That example is contrary to the example of ocean and wave. In case of a pot and clay, we fail to return to clay. In case of a seed and a plant, we go one way. We can't return to plant to seed. But in case of Vibharta, in case of ocean and waves, we can, there is no waves at all. Waves are created from the source and again they return to that source.
then why the cause will think to manifest himself?
Why?
Why it will manifest through
It,
its creation or say whatever? So why there will be a wave? Who will decide that there is a ocean? But who will decide that whether there will be a wave or it will remain quiet? Why there will be a wave?
no, there is no question why they are. If you are asking this question why, because you are in the state of waves. If there is ocean and that is called lila, that is called lila. Lila is the highest mysterious point where you can't ask that question because all questions are meaningful in the empirical creation. Okay, you are asking the question means you are landing in the earth and you are asking
That
about the
is
galaxy.
that is in Advaita philosophy. That is everything is illusion. So we are
Yes,
unable. But
we are discussing Advaita philosophy here. We are
Dvaita,
dis
Dvaita,
we are
okay.
discussing Advaita here because if we shall avoid Advaita, then we can't reach at oneness. Always we shall land in the field of duality. Okay, for example, I am giving an example. You are asking questions either in the waking state. Of course, you can't ask question in the dream state and dreamless sleep state. All these states they have different prestige, different limitations. But when you are in Turiya state, there is no question at all. You are that, you are that. If you will say who is willing, you are willing. You are that ocean and you are that waves. You are not a second entity who is asking the question. You are not asking to me. You are asking that question to you.
Can
You are
anybody can anybody be in the Turiya stage forever?
you are always Turiya. You are always Turiya. You don't discuss about anybody. You discuss about yourself. Therefore, Upanishadic wisdom is the self-realization. You have to realize that you are Brahman. So you are always in the Turiya state. Due to that is the behind the screen. You are manifested into different states of consciousness, sometimes in the waking state, sometimes you are in the dream state, sometimes in the dreamless sleep state. As now you are asking question means that is not your total personality. Now you have the ego sense that you are asking the question. Okay, ego means ego in the positive sense. I am telling. You are very much conscious that you are asking the question. You are now consuming also time. You are doing that. You are very much conscious, but you are not total. That attitude is not your total personality. After sometimes you will quarrel with others. After sometimes you will sleep. After sometimes you will teach your students. So you have different personalities. But what is that behind all these personalities? That is also you. You are that oneness and you are many.
No.
When
I am asking that whether one can remain in the Turiya state forever. You told that after some time, then you have to reach out, come out of this Turiya to normal life, Jagrata, whatever it has been written. I have heard in some Mandukya Upanishad. So all these four stages you have told, these are actually stages of consciousness. What is
yes,
it? So, can anybody remain in the Turiya states? For example, the great sages of our ancient past, like Ramana Maharshi or say Vivekananda or Swami Ramakrishna Paramahansa, or anybody
Yes, yes,
like
yes.
really,
They are Siddha Purusha. They are Siddha Purusha. They are always in that.
are they staying
Yes,
in the
yes,
Turiya
yes.
states forever?
Definitely yes. Definitely yes.
Okay.
Definitely yes.
Now I have to
Okay.
personally meet you
They
and
are
clarify, get clarified
they
about that.
are they are second to God. They are second to God.
Okay, sir. Thank you. This is all about my question.
Thank you, Deepak Sahu, for your brainstorming questions. And now we would like to proceed to the next queries. If you have any query, except Deepak Sahu, because show of hands if you have any query or doubt.
Next session will be held on 19th November, Saturday. 19th November, Saturday. We shall discuss verses 8, 9. 8 and 9, maybe 10. Thank you, Kheya, for your beautiful moderation and coordination. Now, conclude the meeting.
Thank you so much to our respected teacher for such beautiful elaboration of the slokas and enriching us with his thought-provoking lecture. And thank you so much all the intellectuals present here for such brainstorming discussion today we had. And this is right now we will conclude here our discussion today, and we will hope for your presence in the next lectures also. Thank you so much and good night.